so y'all can see. So you can look at this and get a perfect example of how life truly is in a whole, because we're too small to see life. But if we were giants standing over Earth, this is how Earth would look. Now imagine if it was water filled up everywhere you see dirt, and only thing that was exposed was the top of all these different rocks. And this is how Earth is in a whole. The water fills up all the crevices. So if you were micro, this would be a valley with water, a river going through it. This would be a river. I would live on this continent. You would live on this continent. But it's truly all connected. It all depends on how big you are. So if you're small, then it's something different. But this is just how Earth would be. All those rocks, everywhere you see dirt, imagine water covering it. All that would be ocean, and the only thing would be showing is the top of each rock. And they would appear to be separate from one another, being as though the water is in the mist. And that's exactly how it would be. So this gives you a perfect example of how Earth is. It's a deep thing. This would be a river, and we would be micro little specks living on top of these land or these rock piles. And this is how Earth is. See how simple that is? This would be a mountain. If you were micro, that would be a mountain. These would be little rivers and valleys full of water, and we would all just live on our continent. You may live over on that continent. It'll be water all in between. I may live on this continent. It's water and little valleys flowing through. Another person may live right on there, and we'll all seem separate from one another. But we're not. It's just a size thing. That's why I always say Earth is macro and we're micro, and you'll never perceive it the right way. But it's a simple but deep thing, as y'all can see. When I break down knowledge, I use the actual life. The same way brothers use the book, and they say, oh, read this. Well, I'll tell you, hey man, come look at the life. Teach you straight from the life, you'll grasp. So if you say, man, I don't understand how the continents and Earth works. The continents are floating in water. I don't understand what that means. Well, it means this. If you were micro, water would be all in there. Some people would live on top of that landmass. Some would live over there. And everything in between would just be water. And all the land masses would appear to be separate. This is why learning from the life is important, because you get truth, as opposed to people saying dumb things like the earth is flat, or saying the continents are floating, or Africa is the mother continent and all other continents came from Africa, and this is not true. Water rises and water sinks. So you can say water recedes, tides rise, tides recedes. And when the tide recedes, things that were under water are revealed. So if you don't see, so if a new continent emerges out of the water, it's not emerging, it just, the water's receding. So the continent is not new. It's always been there, it's just been emerged. So if this was Earth right here, all in all the crevices and cracks, you would see rivers and oceans. That'd probably be an ocean right there. And some of us will live on this side. Some will live on that side. And we will be separated by the water, because we can't see the landmass under it, which would be the ocean's bed or the seabed. It'll be more water around here. making this look like a whole separate continent from this one, and it's all the same. It's a beautiful thing. I wish people would actually donate so that so I can get land and y'all can grasp all of this. But as I said, y'all don't have to donate for me to get land, because I can teach y'all in the parks and all the different lands that we already have. Just come out. Right now we're on 211th Street in Isham, I believe. Right across from the Good Shepherd School. So we're right in the middle of the city. We got the tobacco shop down the street, and it's a deep thing. Now, go a little farther. Hopefully I covered some deep things